It is being called Climategate, the controversy over leaked emails that critics say shows the science behind global warming may have been exaggerated. Well, our next guest says these emails are just the tip of the iceberg.
Pat Michaels is the author of Climate of Extremes, Global Warming Science They Don't Want You to Know, and Senior Fellow of Environmental Studies at the Cato Institute. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so what exactly? We heard about the stolen emails, the leaked emails, the hacked emails. Pretty telling, right, Pat?
Oh, it's very bad stuff. The stuff that's really bad is them trying to control what goes into the refereed scientific literature, which is, you know, it's the canon of science. It would be like somebody trying to say, hey, Mark, John, Luke, you know, you can't put this in the Bible, otherwise we're not going to buy any of your Bibles. It was that bad.
Mm-hmm. Now, Pat, you know, over the last, it seems like about 10 years, we've heard through the mainstream media, there are all these scientists who say that it is man that is causing this global warming. And now there are these hacked emails that show, wait a minute, some of these scientists who have been saying that all along have kind of been behind the scenes colluding to put that message out and maybe even doctoring some of the evidence?
Not even some of these scientists, some of the very, very big-name scientists were involved in trying to keep people out of the scientific literature. They would talk about if there's ever a Freedom of Information Act request, if they ever find out that's true, I think I'll destroy the file, meaning the data file that put together these global warming records. And they talk about all kinds of different things about how anybody's research who they don't agree with is not going to go in the literature. Very, very bad stuff.
Pat, talk about exactly how much is at stake here. Literally tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions of dollars, especially if we get a cap and trade bill that comes down the road, you know, in the next couple of months or so. What is really at stake money-wise?
Oh, the cap and trade is going to cost trillions and trillions of dollars, and you know, I don't know how much this Climategate is going to influence it, but it's certainly going to probably sway a couple of people on Capitol Hill, and the vote that would come out would be very, very close.
Well, I mean, this has implications for every person on the planet, and extraordinarily,
yes, it does.
Yesterday, Senator Barbara Boxer, she's not concerned about what is in those hacked emails. She's just concerned that somebody stole them. She said, you call it Climategate, I call it email theftgate. She wants to focus on finding who got the stuff. The whistleblower.
Yeah, that's funny. That would be like somebody going after the person who leaked the Pentagon Papers. Excuse me, it doesn't work that way. The information's out there, it's public, and it's very, very bad.
You know, Pat, when you think about a crime lab, you think about contamination. When you think about a medical lab, you worry about contamination. Going into Copenhagen next week, should we worry about contaminated data?
Well, the whole thing started because East Anglia wouldn't let loose the climate data that made up these long-term weather records, and people had been looking at them. I wrote a book about this. It looks to me like these records are being played with in a funny way. Then you find an email that says, hey, let's raise the temperature 0.15 of a degree to get rid of what's called the blip, meaning an embarrassing cooling in the record. Oh, my God. We're going to do science that way? We're going to base global policy that's going to affect everyone's life that way? I don't think so.
This is such a big story, and yet
it's huge.
You see nobody really talking about it on the mainstream media aside from Fox and the Internet and talk radio. From the Cato Institute today, Pat Michaels, we thank you so much for joining us with this very important story.
All right. You've seen